Hey, welcome back, everybody. I'm glad you guys are joining me for another episode of the Christian Perspective. And today we're tackling a very popular show among Christians, and it's pretty popular worldwide, I would say as well. It's something I had promoted at one point or another, talking about it, reviewing the show. It's called The Chosen. I've wore some of their material here on the show before, or on this channel before, because what they were promoting was good. However, the more and more that I've continued to look at it, the more and more there's things that are very concerning. And the latest thing has been very concerning. If you're unable to stand for Christ in moments that actually matter, then you're unable to stand for him anytime. And I have a feeling that this show is not heading in the right direction any longer, where they allow employees of their brand to openly mock God, even while on the set of the show. Of course, in Romans, we look at Romans chapter 1 here, starting here in verse 16, says, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God to salvation for everyone who believes, for the Jew first and also the Greek. For in the righteousness of God is revealed from faith to faith, as is written, the just shall live by faith." And they're not really presenting a good model here of actually living by faith and actually standing for the gospel and the defense of the gospel. We can look at First Timothy as well, being a defender of the gospel. What we see here is a shying away of it, not wanting to deal with this. And we're going to dive into this story. So prior to us doing any of that, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button. If you want more of these stories, let me know in the comments below. So let's go ahead and take a look at the story and examine it a little bit here. A gay pride flag shows up on The Chosen. We explain why here. Of course, I've been following the story since yesterday, and this is actually an article that was written up, but I'll show you some other stuff here in a bit as well with this here. And here you can see the gay pride flag on the set of The Chosen right here, displayed for all to see. They're filming a Christian show, but openly mocking God behind the scenes. Right, as a producer, as a director or creator of the show, and an employer of the show, there has to be a position that Dallas Jenkins would have, saying, "Hey, you're gay or whatever, but you can't sit here and openly mock God by displaying these things that openly go against his will for your life. We can't have that. That's not something that aligns with our company's values." Unfortunately, Dallas Jenkins have yet to really come out and say anything. Their ops team has, and we'll look at what they said, is very weak and watered down as expected. So a couple of days ago, images of the gay pride flag on the set of the hit TV show The Chosen began to emerge on social media. The photos were from season 4 promo video, where the flag can be seen hanging from camera equipment and attached to the back of a man's vest. Where did they come from? They belong to a crew member named Daniel Fritz, a Steadicam operator with longtime show employee. Fritz is married to a homosexual man, and he occasionally dresses up in drag. Because he is openly gay and proud of it, his vest and equipment are adorned with a rainbow moniker, a common sight on the set of the Jesus flick. If The Chosen is filming, you can bet there will be a gay flag nearby. And that's what we see here. Here's the gentleman here. You see his gay pride flag there, proudly displayed on his vest, right? And here they are on the set, of course, on the set of The Chosen, with merchandise, openly supporting the rebellion against God, a mocking against God. And of course, this was from a Facebook post. It says, "Day one of many. As always, surreal to check off the first of new seasons, from the first scene to this first Steadicam shot to the first rain delay. Feels like we never left. I'm so grateful to be back with all the stars, cast, and crew for a whole nother season of adventure." And we see here, this is the dude here. And Dallas Jenkins is right here, right? But this is what he does. Here he is in drag, and all this other stuff, right? Of course, there's laws. You can't just fire him because he is gay, but there has to be some rules in place in a work environment where that's not something that you should be openly displaying. There are companies that there's uniform policies. Hey, you got to make sure this is a uniform policy. You're not to display any type of things that express outwardly. And especially on a Christian show, you don't want on behind the scenes here to be seen as that. So here I took the opportunity to go ahead and look at this and say, hey, there has to be. I'm going to have to voice my opinion to Chosen altogether. So I did. I went ahead and over there on their tweet over here on Twitter, The Chosen says, this was a tweet that was put out 16 minutes ago. I replied when it was only a few minutes old. I said, I will no longer be promoting your show since you're unable to curb your employees from mocking God on your own set. This is a terrible example you are showing. We must stand for Christ and not shrink in those situations. I pray you will address this with your employees, is what I said to the official account of The Chosen over on Twitter. But it doesn't end there, right? It doesn't end there because I have, of course, some bookmarks here of some of their of what they had to say here. So here, let me go ahead, and this was their official response to the original post of this here. It says, hey, The Chosen TV, can you explain why there's a pride flag on your set? And this is a very weak response. They say this: just like with our hundreds of cast and crew who have different beliefs or no beliefs at all than we do, we will work with anyone on our show who helps us portray or honor the authentic Jesus. We ask that audiences let the show speak for itself and focus on the message, not the messenger, because we'll always let you down. And I agree, you will let us down. However, if you're making a show about Christ and you're having these open displays of mocking Christ, mocking God, how can you proclaim that you are doing the will of the Lord's work? You're not. You're absolutely not. And this is such a shame because it's a show I really enjoyed. I really did. And here what we have is, of course, another lukewarm Christian. We talked about Lauren Daigle last week, right? Unable to stand in the face, stand for Christ when it actually matters most. Instead, you shrink in that situation. If we can't be brave now and speak out for Christ, we're not going to be able to do it when it gets even harder to do. This is what separates the weak and the imitators of Christ from actual believers who, I want to see that man saved. The guy with the pride flags, I want to see him saved. I don't want to see him condemned to hell for eternity, right? I want him to turn away from his sin. I want him to embrace Jesus Christ and allow him to change him from within. However, you can't allow this openly displaying of mocking of God on the set of your Christian television show. Anyway, that's why I think about it, and I would love to hear what you guys have to say about it in the comment section below. Have you watched The Chosen? Let me know what you guys think about this new development as it continues down this type of path. And of course, with the lukewarm response that they gave, does not instill any confidence in myself to continue to promote the show moving forward. So from here on out, unless something drastically changes with that show, I will no longer be promoting it in any fashion, in anything. I will be continuing to expose it for what they are doing over there. So again, I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. I hope you all have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye, everyone.